Well, hello again folks, hope yous are all still in good stead, and welcome to another video. Now, if you haven't already sussed it by the title, yep, I'm out after hooded crows again, with the 17 Hornet. I got a phone call through the week from a farmer whose ground I've shot over for years, who also sent me a photograph of one of his sheep with its eyes pecked out. Unfortunately, it didn't survive the ordeal, but apparently she was having trouble lambing and the crows pecked her eyes out while she wasn't fit to protect herself. So I said I would be down the next Saturday morning, bright and early, and see if I could account for the culprit. Now, thankfully, here in Northern Ireland, we can control hooded crows and magpies for the protection of livestock. Oops, sounds like the crows are already up and about. I wasn't out of my bed early enough. Once the hide was built, I casually dandered out to set up my bait. There was no point rushing about it, and only bringing more attention to myself. The birds are out and about anyhow. Hopefully they'll be used to seeing the farmer dancing around the fields checking on the sheep now and again, and once I get back into the hide they'll sort of forget about me. Well, wishful thinking anyway. Okay, with my dead rabbit for bait set out and I'm safely in the hide, I'll go over what I'm using today. I have my CZ527 Varmint chambered in 17 Hornet with me. It has a Meopta 4-16 by 44 scope on it and a Tacticam Solo and the FTS unit to film through that. It's chambered in 17 Hornet and I'm using home loads, and the suppressor up front is the Wildcat Panther in 17 caliber. I'm probably not in the hide very long until I see the farmer driving by on the quad doing his rounds, checking to see if there's any sheep having problems lambing. It must have been an hour or more after the farmer had left when I noticed a sheep up at the top of the field that was obviously in a bit of distress. She kept moving around from one spot to another, couldn't settle, and she was obviously straining hard. Yep, she was trying to lamb. Now, I kept an eye on her, but after an hour she still hadn't had any success, so I rung the farmer, who said he'd be down pretty soon as he was up in another piece of ground checking the sheep up there. Shortly after I had phoned the farmer, I heard the familiar cries of a hooded crow, and sure enough, one had landed in a tall tree to the right hand side of the field. Typical, isn't it? I'm expecting the farmer to arrive any minute, and now the hooded crow's taking interest. Look, here it comes, circling round in the strong breeze. But does it land beside the dead rabbit I've set out for bait? No, it goes straight for the sheep that's trying to lamb. You dirty beast, ye. I want to take the shot before it does any harm, but it's just too close to the sheep. Thankfully, she rises to her feet and turns to face the bird. I'm just going to have to buy my time here and wait till I get a proper safe shot. Thankfully a second hooded crow turns up and lands right beside the dead rabbit I set out. I could shoot the second bird okay, but I really want that other one, as I suspect it might be the sheep killer. Thankfully, when it saw the other bird at the rabbit, it decided to join it. Much easier meal I take it. Unfortunately though, somehow in all the excitement, I'd forgotten which bird was which. And then the two started falling out and squabbling with each other, and that really confused me. So I decided on the bird on the left, only to forget about the safety catch and it fly off with one of the rabbit legs. After that I decided there's one left and it'll do lovely. I do like that little 17 Hornet, hardly disturbed the sheep in the background at all. I stayed in the hide and left the bird I just shot where it was lying, and thankfully in 5 minutes time the other bird came back. And boy, it was not happy, as that was probably its mate that I had just shot. That's two hooded crows that won't be pestering the sheep again. About 5-10 minutes after that, the farmer appeared in the quad, looking for that ewe that was trying to lamb. And she had a surprising amount of energy, more than I thought she had, as the two of them ended up chasing each other around the middle of the field like ring-a-rosies, before she dodged through a hole in the hedge into the next field, whereby the farmer had to drive down to the bottom of the field to get through the gateway after. But she gave quite a merry chase before finally running out of energy, and we were able to catch a howl of her and help her finish lambing. At that point I said to the farmer, I'm going to pack up and go here. I've only seen the two birds that I've shot, and I very much doubt if there'll be any more about after the amount of commotion we've just caused. And the farmer said, nope, you get back into your hide there. Once I drive off from this quad, you'll probably get another one coming back down again. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I don't think so. But to keep the old fella happy, I decided to set the two birds I just shot up as decoys and then dodge back into the hide for an hour or so, and that'll keep him happy. So with that all done, I got myself back into the hide, started setting the rifle up, and guess what? Yep, there was a crow landing.
Holy smoke, Christ, you won't land. I've all room with me.
I had the shooting stick set up. All I had to do was push the end of the rifle out through the hide, hopefully without the bird seeing it, which wasn't terribly easy, as it does have a 25-inch barrel with a moderator on the end of it. And this is quite a small hide. But thankfully I managed to do it and get the rifle reloaded. The bird hadn't noticed anything, thankfully, as it was too busy checking out the decoys. But it looked like it could leave at any second. Well, wouldn't you credit that? The farmer was right, hey? I hung around for another hour or two, just in case another one would come down. But the only thing that appeared was a magpie, which never landed, and a few jackdaws. The jackdaws did land briefly, but they don't do the sheep any harm, them or the rooks, so I left them alone. Plus, as you can see, the field was starting to get a little busy with grazing sheep, so I finally decided to call it quits. That was probably a good thing, because I think I sat in the hide for that long, my legs forgot what they were used for.
Okay, I'm tired, so I'll try and keep this brief. Came this morning after the farmer sent me a photograph of one of these sheep that was trying to lamb, and some crows of that pecked the eye out of it. So I set up this morning using a dead rabbit, quite a small dead rabbit, as bait, and nothing really happened for ages. I was watching a sheep up the field there that was trying to lamb. Gave him a phone call, said he'd be down before long, and before he arrived, one of these two hooded crows decided to ignore the rabbit and land beside the sheep and start pecking at its rear end. Bad rascals. Didn't get a shot at it then, but two of them landed at the rabbit. Got one of them, and then its mate thankfully appeared about 5 minutes later, and I got it. Went out, give the farmer a hand to gather the sheep up and lamb it, and when I got back into the hide, that one landed. Wasn't expecting to see another crow today, especially after we were running around the field chasing the sheep. So that was a bonus. And that's too long-winded for my legs at the minute because I'm tired. So, good result. Farmer's happy. I'm going home. Nice cup of tea. Cheers, bye folks.
It's always a good thing to tidy the place up and don't lay a mess behind you. That way you'll always get asked back again. Oh, and if you're wondering about the ewe and her lamb, well, they were in the next field over, doing quite nicely. Well folks, that's the end of another one. Hope you enjoyed it, even though it only was the 3 birds. But I'm really glad I got them 2 at the start. They were definitely sheep killers. The way they went for that ewe that was struggling to lamb instead of the dead rabbit. Once I showed the farmer the footage, he was dead chuffed at it. So that was a real good thing, good bonus. And I have other footage coming, including a good day in the Jackdaws with a shotgun. But until then, take care and look after yourselves, hey.